What is up, guys? Kane here, and in this one, we're gonna talk about heroes once more, but this time we're gonna talk about Nora. So, I kind of wanted to remove level 65 heroes from my field, or rather rogues, some of them, not all of them, because I cannot really invest that much into research. And since I can't invest that much into research, I'm not gonna be performing that well with those heroes, and they're just taking space in my formation. But I managed to find a different build for Nora, which might be doing wonders, might not be. There's like, I have to test quite a lot to more or less prove whether or not this is working or not. But quite a few people are also doing this, so I'm not sure whether or not this is a good one or this is like a half-ass type, not really good build. But again, whenever I change this and change to human formation, my burst side is actually performing quite a bit better with just very, very slight changes to it. So, first, let's talk about the main build, the Nora that would do the damage and be like a pretty huge menace on the field. So of course you're gonna require research. If you have research, the hero is gonna be level 70. Equipment is going to be the Clash of Fate set for more damage against targets with lower HP, and of course the main set will be the Drake set. The Drake set will grant all her abilities +1, and it has another passive which I kind of forgot, but I don't have it. I'm likely not gonna get it for a long time, so I don't really even mind about it. So if you don't have the Drake set, you have to make do with other equipment. So for a DPS build, you will require this. Each time the wearer kills an enemy unit, their damage dealt is increased by 5%, up to a maximum of 25%. Then for trinkets, you will want to have a Glintsteel pistol, 25% more damage to enemy melee, melee enemy units. And for the other trinkets, you want to get a ability +1. So I had this for a while. It gave the destructive rage +1, but you also have one for the strike commander +1, which rather increases her attack speed and I suppose crit hit chance. But I don't think that was a higher value than just increasing more damage, because I think this granted 2% for level 10, or rather from 10 to 12%. So essentially that 1+1 level grants like 10% max, I think. I'm not sure, but I think something like that. So, and that is the DPS build along with a particular prism array, which let's just find it just to showcase, because it requires a true Ruby. So, the array is Draconic Storm, more range, more accuracy. Basic attacks have a percent chance to trigger Draconic Lightning, dealing percent damage to enemies in the target area. So that is the sort of DPS build that most Noras do have. Now, in terms of the debuffer build, the abilities are exactly the same, though the equipment and of course the prism will change. So for equipment, for the weapon, I will likely want to have attack speed 30%. I want her to fire more rockets, debuff more, debuff faster, more reliably. For trinkets, I want to have more range on her so she's in a safer position. She's acting like a debuffer, she doesn't die. Regardless if she doesn't do damage, she's acting as a debuffer for my mages to do the brunt of the damage. And as the last trinket, I would likely want to put like the Scarab for the shield, or something that will either provide utility or a buff or stuff like that. Because if she doesn't do damage, I don't really require more damage in terms of her equipment. I'm still yet trying to figure out what stuff I will kind of require. And the main thing in terms of this build is the prism, the 4-set prism, and 4-set prisms have a ton of decent buffs, which if you properly insert into the field, it can prove very, very, very useful. So this build, people will have to test for their own accounts whether or not this may work for them or whether or not this may be good. So for some people in the earlier realms, this will not be useful. For people in the later realms who don't have proper rogue research, rather rogue and mechanist research, and have a low level Nora, this could be a decent build if the majority or the core damage are the mages and stuff like that. Now, do keep in mind there is the same prism set for reduction of the physical resistance as well. So if you're going for increasing your archer damage, there is the same thing for reducing physical resistance as well and stuff like that. I mean, there are a decent amount of good-ish 4-set prisms that, again, if you properly place on your field, they might prove some pretty useful effects. So this one, reduction in magic resistance and range 26%, so she's in a safer position. But people would wonder that she doesn't have area damage, so she's gonna be reducing one, or rather not reducing one, but rather targeting one swordman or one army or whatever and stuff like that. So we're gonna be showcasing an example against an army which is large. So instead of like 30 units in a squad, they have like what? That's 3, 5, 8 units in a squad, right? So Nora is placed here. Let's check what the rocket does. She fires one rocket and about 4 of these bombers instantly deleted, meaning she does area damage with her attack. So if we move to Deadeyes as well, there's a similar amount of Deadeyes. I'm not like really sure how many. We're not gonna count. 1 bomb and 4 of these backline archers died with just 1 rocket. That proves that she does area damage. And since she does area damage, the magic resistance will be in an area as well, or rather magic resistance reduction. And thus, the change of her build on my field will prove that my mages will be doing quite a bit more damage, and with the additional range bonuses, she's gonna be reaching further even behind the front line, hitting some of the maybe DPS heroes, and my other mages will be doing a ton more damage to those DPS heroes and stuff like that, and just prove her to be useful even if she doesn't have the damage capabilities. Now again, do keep in mind that this, if not used properly, might weaken your field. So I have to let you know that you have to test and whether this is working for you and whether or not the Draconic Storm build might be better. Because again, if you don't have research, she does no damage. At least in my tier of gameplay, and I am currently like almost 16 million core. And without research, that hero doesn't do damage. So with this build, she still has a place on my field. My mages do a ton of damage and they end up killing stuff rather quite quickly, as well as backline heroes, and then we just tear down the frontline rather quite easily. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think of the build, whether you're gonna try it and see how it performs for you. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you would wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do just that, and in return I would be able to help you out more individually in terms of PvP, formations, events, and stuff like that. As well as I would like to thank all of my patrons for the support. I really appreciate it for your subscriptions. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe out there.